Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with a day-delayed news episode, but all for good reason. You have a big yearly festival you do right after the Big E, a garlic festival.
Nice garlic festival.
Selling those Simply Diplicious dips. So it's always a big year for you with these weekends back-to-back. So to be honest with you, I didn't even think we were going to get in a news episode. We have an interview coming out later this week, a great one as well, too. I think everyone's going to enjoy that one. So this is kind of like a little... just a cherry on top bonus. I'm excited for this one.
When you sent me the message
of like, hey, it was like what, like last night at like 5 p.m. or something.
They're like, hey, it's a long shot, but you up for, coming in the studio on Monday? And in my head, that was going to be the plan anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'd even, before the garlic festival, I even told Tracy, I'm like, I'm probably going to record on Monday because I couldn't foresee any other opportunity other than maybe Wednesday. So yeah, it was never not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So it was such an easy sell because I was like, yeah.
Well, especially because as everyone saw yesterday, all the creator videos of the Quest 3S started to drop.
About 100 of them.
Dun, dun, dun. No Ruff Talk VR one. So we had to get in at least our thoughts on the MetaQuest 3S. And you know what? We can actually we'll just riff and we'll talk about our organic thoughts on the 3S. And then we can just clip that into a YouTube video with some nice footage over it.
All right, that works for me. So, but the reality is we talked about trying it at Connect.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, dude, I liked it when we tried it. So to own one, courtesy of the MetaQuest Creator Program, yeah, man, I love the friggin' thing.
Yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast now, this is our MetaQuest 3S review video as well.
Let's get into it, man, because it's like...
So this is the MetaQuest 3S. As you said, we did talk about trying it at Connect.
There's no shortage of, like, right now especially, there's no shortage of videos, or if you're really looking, just...
Yeah, probably like 50 creator review videos. Easily. And then, 50 news articles. So we're not going to say anything that's not been said besides just our thoughts on it.
But it's our thoughts.
Yeah,
not what someone else said.
You can find full technical breakdowns of the exact processor and RAM and everything like that. I mean, it's a standard Quest 3 with, lesser lenses. And it's $200 cheaper. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, it does everything a regular 3 does. Yeah. It performs the same. To be honest with you, the tracking cameras for hand tracking, a little bit actually better on the 3S. It can handle low light environments better than...
look at everyone's seen that, but I actually like the
aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
I think it's like less ugly than the 3.
The front view is decent,
mm-hmm.
which, again, googly eyes.
And again, we did get
that bug look, but the side view, it's a little, it differs in my opinion.
And again, we did get these, like you said, through the MetaQuest Creator Program. Yes. And we were so lucky to try it at Connect, but it's different doing it. I
was happy with just that. I won't lie. This was a
cherry on top.
Absolute, and we've had, we can say we've had it for
a couple weeks now.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. So it wasn't a surprise, though, like putting it on and trying it and using it. It's like I was able to have that experience, and I didn't think that it was going to operate lesser than what I tried.
Yeah, but it is different when you have a 1-hour demo versus when you can really, play through it.
And I did the Xbox Game Cloud using the 3S too. So, I mean, that was pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, everything on it functions. It's a Quest 3. It's just $200 cheaper, and with that,
dude, it's not even funny.
All you're losing on it are the lens. When we got it with the base headset. They also sent us a stylus, which we'll talk about a little bit separately on another edition. And then they also did send the breathable face mask here, which I actually really like. This breathable.
The mesh.
1S1.
Yeah,
2?
you would think it would let in like light and stuff, but it doesn't.
Like I guess if you look for it, if you go out there and you're like start moving your eyeballs to the edge and like is that you're
just
like, yeah,
under a bright light bulb.
Then you're gonna see some. But I mean, really, it's for sport and fitness apps where like heat becomes a thing, dude. Look how breathable this is, and then the nice silicone face mesh I like a lot more than the like the foam one.
I only have
standard.
one beef with the entire headset.
What's that?
Just the stock head strap.
Oh,
it's not
stock?
actually for some reason it didn't make me as uncomfortable as the 3 did on initial wear, but the reality is the head strap kind of
it's a Quest 3 stock head strap, no doubt. But I will agree that it is better than the 3 felt comfort wise.
I don't know why.
It could be that I'm more used to it now, or it could just be that with the breathable face mesh, this nice nice material, that it's not as bad. Or they've improved the head strap, but it doesn't seem as atrocious.
Looks like the same head strap to me, man.
I know, but I agree with you. The comfort's not as bad, but it's still not ideal. You're still much better with like an Elite strap or something like that.
The only sacrifice, like you said, is the lenses. You're not getting the pancake lenses, which I personally don't think is the end of the world. And I think way back when we talked about like, how much does it cost just to have those lenses? So now we know on the commercial market, $200.
Yeah, $200 is the upgrade. So
that's basically all that's essentially changed.
So aesthetically, I think aesthetics, the 3S actually wins on aesthetic.
If they had made it black, it would have been game over.
I'm biased towards black headsets. On out of the box comfort, oh man, again, this is hard for me to say because I don't know if, like I said, if it's because of how much we've used the 3.
It's possible.
But it feels like it's a little bit more comfortable out of the box. Performance-wise, going into games, pass-through quality, it's 1-to-1 with the 3 on performance and everything like that.
You'd say the pass-through's identical?
Well, like
I'd say about 10%.
I can't say 100% identical because you do have a lens quality difference.
Yeah.
So it's like the difference in pass-through quality comes from the difference in the lenses.
You know what you're not getting? Fucking black and white.
Yeah. So the pass-through quality is tight. Performance-wise, the games perform better. I mean, just as good as the 3. I still think, again, if you're a hardcore power user that has the budget for it, yes, base 3, 512 gigabyte model is the way to go with, the improved lenses and everything. But for $299, for somebody just getting into VR,
dude, Christmas time.
Or you're going to gift a headset.
Yeah, you want to get your friend one or your spouse. Come on, dude, your kids.
Or for people that are still on a 2 but didn't see the value in spending $500, they didn't want to upgrade to a 3. Like for all of those users, this is the headset to go with, in my opinion.
You're getting the color pass-through. So, even if it was like a really jacked up 2, if they gave you color pass-through, that would have been huge anyways for the money spent. But this is ridiculously like affordable. Yeah,
the main notable upgrades are, coming. If you went from a 2, it would be like you said.
It's my official travel headset now.
Yeah, dude, it's
not even funny.
It's great, but if you're coming up from a 2, the biggest upgrades are no doubt going to be, like you said, the color pass-through. And now that you get to run those games that are Quest 3 exclusives, like Batman, that comes bundled in with the headset.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that.
Take advantage of games with Quest 3 performance boosts and stuff like that. Again, it's still a Quest 3 headset.
I just don't know why they don't do limited editions. Like, I think PlayStation's done it, Xbox.
Oh, they talked about it. Remember when they were talking about doing an Xbox collaborative headset? And they announced that when they talked about the OS expanding to other headsets.
That's when we would have gotten a black headset.
So I think we will see that eventually, but...
And why don't they do black headsets?
I don't know. To me, it's a better aesthetic.
Is it cost?
But again, just to wrap up the review on it, performance-wise, it's a Quest 3.
Would you advise someone to get it if they were looking for an affordable first headset?
Yes. If you're new to VR, I would say just spend the $299 versus the $500. For existing power users like you and I that know they're going to love the tiny bit of increased resolution and the better pancake lenses, then yeah, go with a base 3. A base 3, as I already have a 3, is still going to be my daily headset I use versus the 3S. But like you said, travel headset Or like I said before, people getting into VR, you're gifting one.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
the
no.
headset.
It's kind of a no-brainer. And I love how like the S really doesn't mean anything internally, allegedly. So you can just call it whatever you want. You know, the Quest 3 super saving money.
Yeah, again, for $200 less.
Dude, that's the part that really like I'm like, you know what? That's
If you're on a Quest 2 or again, you're not already a VR user, I can't justify being like, yeah, spend
it's not even
the extra
entry.
200.
Yeah, and it's funny because you can't even be like, it's a great entry level headset because it's not. It's a Quest 3 with different lenses.
Well, it's an entry priced headset.
Correct.
You can almost get 2 of these for the cost of one standard Quest 3.
No, they did a good job. I totally recommend it to, even if you're like, oh man, I'd love to have a second 3, but I don't want to spend all that money. It's like, here you go.
Yeah. For $299, man,
Good deal.
it's pretty 1-to-1 with the 3. You know, again, me and you.
Again, I mean, it's just a lens issue. That's all.
Well, not even a lens issue. It's just they're just not as good. But it's not even that they're bad. They're better than the 2s was. That's for sure. So great work for Meta. I think having a $299 headset on the market is so important for the VR economy, so to say. Let's see what happens this winter, though. This Christmas.
Oh, it's gonna explode.
Open the floodgates. All those,
Not even funny, dude.
Yeeps player base is about to
Not to
explode
mention
when all those
everyone
kids
who's
come
already
in.
getting them. So I mean, it's like we're not even at Christmas.
And bundled in with Batman, baby. So great work. And then this, I have this to bring up just because we've been having so much fun with it. We dove back into OG Contractors co-op mode, the survival mode. We've been having too much fun just running that.
Yeah, man. Something about that original one.
Yeah.
It still holds up.
We've been doing both the survival one with like, shooter, people with guns coming at you. And then we've also done the zombie one. What's interesting is they're completely different like skill trees and weapon trees too. But dude, that game still freaking holds up.
Yeah, I like it. We got to snatch a third though.
Yeah, I know. I think we can play with up to 4 in there.
Yeah.
So
I do 4.
yeah, we've been kind of there's been so many games coming out, so it's like the worst time ever to do this. But we've been revisiting a lot of games that we've like loved in the past as well, like OG Contractors, going through that co-op PvE mode, and then Walkabout Mini Golf. We've been going through and collecting all the balls that we missed because on some of the OG courses, like when we first got the game, it was just about scores. Ball finding came a little bit later in our playing. So we've been really going through and finding all the balls and all the clubs as well, too. Played iOS version with my friend who's been...
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's probably going to grab a 3S, but he's been eyeing Walkabout Mini Golf. So this is actually my first news point as well, too. So it flows nice and good right into it. Walkabout Mini Golf, man. Like I said, I played iOS with my friend. It's officially out, the iOS mobile version, for $5 on the Apple Store.
Yeah, as soon as it dropped, I went and saw what it was really going for, and I'm like, this is just as to be expected, right? Not $9.99.
It soared through the rankings too. When I hopped on, it said number 1 in sports app on my screen as well too. But according to Upload VR, they hit number 16 on top paid game charts overall for United States. Dude, that is wild. Their player base number is like the number potential of it is so huge now as a mobile game like this.
And a huge percentage of current players of the game bought it, but you also know a huge percentage of people who don't have VR bought it. So they got double whammied with it.
And they have the DLC.
It's really perfect.
They have the DLCs available for sale on there as well too. So I mean, I hope Walkabout Mini Golf.
Dude, the integration of crossplay worked really well.
The voice sounded, my friend was talking into his iPhone and it sounded like our mics, didn't it? Like when it came out.
Yeah, it sounded like he was in the game.
It was wild.
Because we were in-game chat. We weren't doing party chat, of course.
And it really didn't. We did simultaneous mode and we did turn-based mode with him. And it's not like him being on the phone slowed down the game or anything. And sometimes he was ahead on some of the holes.
I do not like turn-based.
No. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm so spoiled now with simultaneous. I can't go back.
You've given me a better option. So why am I going backwards?
It's so good.
I don't use horse and buggy.
It's
You
so
know?
good. Simultaneous mode's the best, especially when you're looking for balls and stuff like that. Because
Correct.
if you're looking for
One
balls,
person can do stuff. And I think for group play, it's a home run because, you know, people like to talk and galley lag, whatever. But now you can go in there, bang, boom, boom, boom. Everyone do their thing. It's like, it's the only way I want to play. To the point where we've played a couple of times and have been like, oh, no.
yeah, we'll quit.
Yep.
We'll quit after a couple holes.
Like, yes, I do. I don't care if we figured it out on the third hole. Like, yay, we're not supposed to be waiting.
And my friend was able to find the balls on the phone too. There's no like cross sync in progress.
Keeping.
So like if you buy it on your phone, there's no way to sync up your VR data to it. But it's Walkabout. It's I'll find all the balls again in flat screen. I don't care. I hope we see this on more and more consoles. But I think if my friend was close to buying a headset before, getting the 3S, playing Walkabout Mini Golf on his phone, sold it.
Yeah, man. Because, I mean, and I think that's kind of the idea.
There was
But who would have thought Walkabout be selling headsets? We
Dude.
knew the popularity. So I had to assume that there was like a handful of people who like got people headsets just for Walkabout or got, you know, some headsets themselves just to play Walkabout. But now, a different ballgame.
So $5 on iOS and one of the top iOS games. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know we're short on time and everything like that. But do you think that they're going to make more money off the iOS version than VR?
I mean, the audience is bigger.
It's
right?
so much bigger.
The
if they're
potential
number
is
one,
there. And I mean, again, they're going to do well on that. And the true tell is going to be, let's watch their ratings in the store.
let me go to their store page on it right now and see if it still says number one.
Well, not just that. Like, what's the ratings on? I would follow the rating numbers.
Yeah, because I think it was 4.9 when I bought it. They're at 4.9 right now, and it says number 2 for casual paid game charts.
Damn, dude, that's a huge.
And dude. So the amount of organic coverage that they're getting just by being on those top charts, I wouldn't be surprised if they make more money with a bigger player base on iOS. They'll never abandon VR. I think and they'll never share those numbers, I'm sure.
No, but they're going to get a nice chunk of.
I think they're sitting on a nice bed right now from that launch. I think that launch probably did better than they thought. That's really good results. Huge props to Mighty Coconut, Walkabout Mini Golf for crushing it. Let's launch this thing on a flat screen PC, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation. Let's go.
I can't figure out why I can't play it on my Xbox.
It would be so good. I will buy it on every console available.
It bothers me. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Just because of the price, I don't even own a PlayStation, but I'll buy it if you put it on Xbox first. So this is actually kind of like comedic news.
Yeah, I was surprised you grabbed it.
First one, baby.
Like that's the thing. That
just
early too.
It's organically funny because it's got some keywords, and one of them being the word about. So we already know about isn't going to go the down direction, but the non-pro Apple Vision headset will be about $2,000.
Reportedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
About $2,000.
About $2,000.
So $1,500 less,
means,
and it still costs $2,000.
Well, no, let's just dissect about $2,000 because otherwise it would have been like, hey, it's $19.99, right? Yep. What your brain would go to about $2,000 to me means
$24.99.
Yeah, $2,200 to $2,400.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out, dude. So even their cheap model is going to cost you like over $2,000 for what? What are you getting?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. We just got done talking about a 3S for like a fucking steal, dude.
You know, I'm sure the cinematic experience of watching movies on a Vision Pro is next level. But is it $2,900 better than the 3? What, doing it in the 3? I don't think so, man.
No, man.
Watching cinematic
Not
shit
for
on
the
your
price.
Quest.
If you balance that
20,
price.
that's what I'm saying. Is it $2,900 better?
No.
Fucking fuck out of here.
$2,900, I better be getting like back rubs every time I turn the thing on.
It doesn't even come with controllers.
Holograms.
The Pro model doesn't come with controllers.
Force
They don't even
feedback.
sell controllers.
Force feedback on my knuckles when I'm punching shit.
Yeah, let's be real.
I mean, doing spreadsheets.
I'm glad Apple's in the industry. You know, they need to do their Apple thing. But if you want my opinion of what grows the industry, it's a $299 headset like this. This is what grows the industry.
And I get needing you. I mean, look, you need Porsche, you need Ferrari.
Correct.
And
I'm glad they're in here.
and they're doing their thing. But it's like, if you really want to hit it, go for the high end of $1,299.
Mhm.
You know, like woo, $1,300. But they would do it. People pay $1,000 for cell phones all day long, every day.
The
It's
regulars,
like no big deal,
the regulars at 2K is too funny, man.
right?
Too funny.
About
Boot.
2,000. Well, if you're Canadian, a boot.
I gotta add one thing
It'll be a
into
boot 2,000.
our 3S review I didn't mention before. They got the action button that lets you toggle between mixed reality and color pass through.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, mixed reality and VR environment. I think that's a good, because
it's a nice
on,
touch.
on the 3 and the 2 you could do a double tap.
Yeah.
That's a little barbaric, right? like the action button makes a little bit more sense. So I was glad to see that. So this was a cool one because we've talked about this one for like 2 years now. The rumors of it. It's always been rumored since pretty much we started the podcast, maybe like 6 months into it, that Meta was going to come out with a cloud streaming service that would allow you to play PCVR games like Lone Echo natively through the Quest, yada, yada. And eventually, you know, we started to see like it would pop up in somebody's experimental features or something like that. And it was always rumored to be called Avalanche. Well, now Avalanche, Meta's rumored cloud streaming system, has a Meta Quest store page listing as well that you can't download, you can't use it, but I mean it very clearly says that it's for PCVR cloud streaming. It's pretty wild.
Things are about to get real interesting for Quest users.
How much would you pay a month for that?
I mean,
Realistically,
honestly,
well, we don't need to.
$9.99.
We don't need to anymore. We have our PCVR. I mean,
Yeah, we
theoretically,
do.
if we were a new VR user,
$9.99, but it'll probably be like
$14.99 is kind of
Yeah.
what my guess was as well.
Yes,
too.
what I'd pay is $9.99, but $14.99 is what I think it'll probably hit.
Oh man, imagine if they included that service with the Quest Plus membership
For 3 months. With the cost of, with every new headset, you'll get it for 3 months.
I mean, I'm real curious to see what goes down here, but I mean, again, you can't download it, you can't launch it.
It's there though.
But it's there, and that's not
They're not just going to let it be there.
intentional. No, I mean, the developer on the
not
store
an
page is
accident.
Meta, and the publisher is XR Tech, with the website linked being to Meta's website, and they have some screenshots in there even too. Of
Looks
playing
tight.
Lone Echo, playing Beat Saber, which, you know, I'm playing Beat Saber on my standalone headset. I'd use a service like this as a user to access titles you can't stand alone, like Asgard's Wrath 1. But dude, if this is getting
Bootstrap
close,
Island, baby.
exactly. And here's the thing. So because it's through Meta, it's probably not going to let you connect to Steam, right? It'll probably only work with Rift Store games. But I mean, you can't kill off the Rift Store. If you let's start pumping out new games like Bootstrap Island. Let's get that on the Rift Store. If that means like, users are going to be able to buy it.
Well, you'd probably, you'd see a bigger push to do just stuff like that.
News just came out right now as well too. Breaking news, but it's not breaking by the time this episode.
12-hour news. 12 hours ago.
Starship Troopers Continuum has been delayed until November on PCVR and Steam and on Quest, unfortunately.
That came from our buddy
Henry Stockdale on Upload VR is where I saw it. But
dropping bombs.
Looks like XR Games, who, just laid off a bunch of people through large scale restructuring, quote unquote, and had the botched Hitman 3 launch. Unfortunately, they put out the statement that it'll now be coming out November 14th on the Quest and November 25th on PlayStation VR.
And I respect that. That's probably a good thing.
That's what they should have done with Hitman. Learn from your lessons, right? So that's how we all improve, right?
So you know what we should talk about?
What's that?
Is why the hell I'm wearing this shirt.
Yeah, we're wearing an Among Us Bone Bash
Bone
Sure.
Bash, baby.
That's
The Shell logo on the back.
that is Shell Games' next event for Among Us VR, which they've done such a good job with these limited time events, keeping it fresh in the news cycle. But we got a whole bunch of cool.
It's funny because when I think they're done, pretty much like, oh, okay, they're boom.
We got
more shit.
Nice shirt like you're wearing there. I got one as well for myself, as well wrapped up all beautifully with a nice ribbon. All this came in a freaking awesome backpack, which you're not gonna be able to see that through it being chroma keyed out. No, I'll figure it out. If you're able to see this on camera, then I made magic work because it is like the exact tint as our freaking.
Yeah,
you could put that there, not even know it's there.
That's fucking awesome.
And then inside the backpack came with a bunch of cool stuff, like a candle right there.
We got a pumpkin guy.
We got a pumpkin. We got a candle. Look at this Halloween scented candle because it's Boom Bash. We got some
candy corn,
some Flarp noise putty. Yeah, some candy corn. So, whole bunch of cool stuff. We got some nice pins as well from them.
Dude, the pins.
Come on.
Pins. I love the friggin' pins.
So, nice shirt, nice backpack. The backpack is real nice. I'm a sucker for a good backpack.
It's like every studio does these too.
Yeah. I love those pins.
Yeah, man. It's not even funny. So I'll just put it out there. You don't ever have to send t-shirts, nothing. Just send pins.
They also gave this little like,
But I love this shirt though.
Little finger game as well, too.
It's got little dudes in there. Oh, where's our little mascot buddy?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
This guy's the best of the best.
The bomb diggity. He's behind my laptop.
The bomb diggity.
He's behind my laptop. If you want to grab him real quick.
Oh my. He is not.
He's not?
Oh no, that little guy. Where's the stuffed guy?
Oh, I'll grab the stuffed guy.
This guy for the desk. Check that out. Hey, what's happening? And this is such. This pose is like so
it's Among
perfect.
Us. If you're
for
on
Among
audio,
Us.
it's an Among Us figure wearing a Quest headset doing
man,
a push, and then we got this little nice
pointing the fingers.
Nice Among Us plushie. So huge props, huge thank you to Shell Games for that lovely.
That was freaking awesome. And you know what? The shirt, it's cool. I can wear this one because it's wicked soft. I don't be wearing rough shirts, Ruff Talk VR, but yet I won't wear a rough shirt. Go figures. All right. So Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire released on Steam.
Speaking of Shell Games, actually.
Last week. That's why I kind of wanted to
go with it there. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah.
Yep.
PCVR Steam version's out now. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, like literally, still hot.
I got to grab it on Steam. I want to see how it compares.
Yeah, that was I've been kind of waiting
because it's really good on Quest. It's not like
I want to see the changes, and I know, I anticipate seeing some. It's gonna look tight, man. But good freaking game, though.
Yeah, Shell Games keeping all their games relevant between Among Us just getting
Among Us is the one
update.
They getting their money's worth out of it.
Silent Slayer now
that out.
There's a dude on Twitter who every day is asking if one of their games, I think I Expect You to Die 3 is coming to PSVR too. It's like every day he posts it. It's the craziest determination I've ever seen.
Listen, I respect his hustle. Because
the first 10 days you're kind of like annoying, but by like day 100, you're like, you know what, man?
Dude, I sent him a message to ask if he was all right. He didn't post one day. Are you feeling all right? I'm doing this a life check.
I kind of missed you, buddy. I was looking forward to your daily check-in with that. So funny stuff, but good. Huge props to Shell Games though for dropping that on PCVR for the Steam crowd as well.
I gotta do a spoon-fed poke.
Poking on Spoon. They've been
I haven't bugged him, and dude, the releases he's been dropping.
It's got to be getting closer. Every day is a little bit closer.
It's not even fucking funny.
So this is a cool one. Final Fury, the next game from Kluge Interactive.
I just like Kluge.
Kluge Interactive is the makers of Synth Riders. Kluge. It's probably Kluge, not Kluge. But it's.
I'm sure it's Kluge.
This is, again, Synth Riders, the studio that made Synth Riders, the rhythm game. Their next game is a VR arcade fighter game. It looks pretty freaking cool. There's a playable demo out now as of today of recording, so yesterday when this episode comes out, and it's going to be playable on PCVR for the upcoming Steam Next Fest, which is like where a bunch of people put demos of their upcoming games. So the game's going to come out, I don't know when, but you can at least play a demo of it if you're on PCVR. The demo is going to have 2 playable fighters. Their names are Tempest and Glitch, and you can play solo offline or in online multiplayer. So
I like the name Glitch.
Yeah, cool stuff from Kluge, however the name might be pronounced.
Being cute, you know.
But when it does actually come out, again, this demo is just for Steam VR, but the full release of the game is going to be on MetaQuest as well, too.
Correct. So if you want to get a little taste.
I'm definitely going to have to check this one out. They say that they're hoping to take down the local, or it says that they need to recreate that thrill of when players would plan their attack strategies, hoping to take down the local champ in arcade classics like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So imagine that in VR with little arcade fighters. So I'm real curious about how this one actually plays.
Sweet.
Good studio though.
Kluge. I'm just gonna call him Kluge now on. So this was I guess it's kind of funny to me. There were some I took. They just made me chuckle. But, you know, and then it's not for the wrong reasons. But Into the Radius takes the #1 spot in September for PSVR 2 downloads.
And this is Into the Radius 1.
Mm-hmm.
The one that, you know, it's been out on Quest. It's been out on PCVR. They now have a sequel out in early access on PCVR. But the first one just recently got put out on PSVR 2 through publishing of Fast Travel Games. So, dude, #1 spot already? That's freaking huge.
Yeah.
Shows you what Ghost of Tabor is going to do when they get out there.
Well, that was kind of what I was implying, that like, just put your game. It's okay, Waters, to put your game there. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, all jokes aside, and they're relying on these companies to float their freaking stores, but there are some bombs coming there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go.
To your point, there's classics that, you know, aren't on there yet.
Crush it.
Like the dude asking
#1.
for I Expect You to Die every day.
And you know what? Good for him. It's another avenue that I think you have to have, you know, just like technically you have to have a game on the Quest if you really want to go for the gusto, and you should be on Steam because that's kind of like, you know, it's the way it's supposed to be.
I think you have a good point with this of like, dude, your game doesn't even have to be a new game. Just let's put the games on the PSVR 2. Clearly it can do good. Clearly it can climb up the store ratings.
It will generate some funds.
And it shows you on a consumer side, the people there, they want the content.
They need, I mean, let's be honest. There's no reason to run out and buy a PSVR 2.
You need games like this.
Correct.
So if somebody
not
starts...
that there aren't some good games there, so I'm not saying that.
Look, the most tempting thing about a PlayStation VR 2 to me is Gran Turismo in VR, and the fact that people say No Man's Sky
actually
works the best there.
Yeah, you don't have to mess with 80 million settings.
So what is those two things that make me actually go, you know, in the right circumstances, maybe I would grab one? It's content. It's games that perform better there than elsewhere.
Correct.
So if somebody was now like, dude, Into the Radius or Ghost of Tabor, like that is the best platform to play the game, that's what sells headsets.
Yeah, I mean, no, and don't say that shit because I don't want to go out and spend $1,000 on a fucking
and I
PS5
I like my Quest 3. I want to keep playing on there.
I do, but if I won't lie, if there was a handful of things
there's
that
2 already.
PSVR 2 had.
How many do they need? 5?
They need at least
10?
5 strong. I mean, the thing about Gran Turismo is though, you can play that for years, dude.
I know.
So they got me with that.
Right? That's a good
one.
one.
That's like 25. I don't
Same
need
thing
5.
with No Man's Sky though. You could play that one for years too. So that's 2 good ones.
Yep.
We just need a couple more.
So if Tabor launches on PSVR 2 and crushes it, and it's like graphically it's as good as PC, like
And to the credit of the PSVR 2 users,
2 more.
I know, dude. Then imagine Grim and Silent North. It's the same bet. It's a problem then, you know. It's like so.
Yeah, that might seal it.
Huge props
that sucks.
though.
It cost me $1,000.
Huge props though to the PlayStation VR 2 users for showing up and buying a game that isn't exactly quote unquote new, but it's new to the platform, and they showed up and boom, #1 on the store. So
well, and it just shows you people want really good games on that fucking headset.
The users are there. I liked your point in the beginning, like it's just another platform to be checking off at this point. And
add it to the list. It shouldn't even be a, but whatever.
I've heard it can be quite.
Yeah, I in my other
there's obviously reasons it's not the case.
I hear conversations that have taken place and things I've heard, whatever.
Yeah,
but
there's obviously obstacles, but in a perfect world, I do understand 100% what you mean.
Yes.
And then this one's cool. VR PvP shooter. The next game from End Dreams, Frenzies. It's out. It's out in early access right now on the Quest for free. So that's pretty cool. And then interestingly enough, End Dreams is actually the publisher on this game, to give proper due to the developer. The developer of this game is Near Light, but the only thing I couldn't see on this is if the game will remain free to play outside of early access season. I can't help but feel like it won't, because it looks like a polished game, right? I mean, it's End Dreams, they're a big studio. I can't imagine they're going the free to play route, but we never know. For the time being, though,
I don't know where the income comes from in free to play. I just don't.
In-app purchases.
I don't understand. I'm like,
in-app purchases, cosmetics or content. So one of those is doable. The other one's real annoying as a consumer when it's content.
Content kind of.
That one hurts. I don't mind cosmetic in-app purchases, and if the player base supports it enough that a studio is able to function, that's amazing. But please don't pay lock my content. I'd rather just pay $20 and never have and just be done with things than $5.
I am so happy with how we scooped up Ghosts of Tabor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with the Founders Edition,
instantly.
Mm-hmm. Which, hey, you can always enjoy the game without DLC. But it is nice when there's a wipe, and we got that rack full of shit too.
It's like the gold shit, Yeah, I like the cool fancy stuff.
My Tabor hat in game, my giant spoon.
Yeah. It's not like pay to win at all.
No.
It was just we saw the
did it in Gods of Gravity too. I see
within
Edition.
an hour, right, of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we bought it. And I actually bought it and then bought the middle grade. I bought the middle grade first and then foolishly was like, why didn't I just buy this top one? I'm an idiot, but whatever. I'm happy to donate to the cause, especially back then. But I'm grateful we did, dude.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the best purchases I think I've ever made in VR.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, Gods of Gravity as well. So, all right, kind of on the cool news. I think we were just talking about like Among Us, just keeping the game alive, keeping it moving. So, in that kind of same theme, I suppose. Fun Train announced that the Exorcist Legion VR is going to get a new little story, a new epilogue.
Ooh, from Fun Train.
Yep. They say, this would be they, meaning the publishers, explore the precinct, uncover terrifying mysteries, and face the horrors that await.
More details coming soon.
Quote unquote is what that's in, but I could summarize it up as we just want to scare the shit out of you. And we've got another. Dude, I played a scary game the other day. I sent you a clip of it. It scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even funny.
It was a game that was in our last year showcase as well, too. And you were like, hey, just hop in there for 5 minutes. And I was like, why don't you run into a wall, dude? I'm not going in that one.
You're being set up when I'm asking you, like, nah, dude, just do 5 minutes. Come on, man.
The next day, you're like, dude, that game was so scary.
I
played in the day. Did you say in the daytime?
In the daytime with Tracy behind me watching TV, and I was still scared.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Horror games in VR just hit differently in a way I'm not about. So was that your last one before the Patreon? Woo!
Yes, sir. Just and I think it's good that Fun Train's putting some
more love into that one.
More love into it. I mean, hey, if you got something that works,
Who do I got to beg for a couple more Twilight Zone episodes? I'll pay DLC cost for a couple more episodes of that.
I thought we were gonna have some by now.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest,
I just want some DLC. That's all. But that's
I've heard nothing in that.
I'm not even saying give it to me for free. I'm saying like I'll buy additional episodes of Twilight Zone.
I'd buy an episode if it was reasonably priced.
100%. So, as always, though, before we continue through the news, I'm on a little bit of a time crunch since again we're doing this weekday instead of weekend. The world goes on during the weekdays. So, as always, though, a huge shout out to our Patreon supporters who support us month after month, despite us rambling and being all crazy and all that. Huge shout out to Asim, Amelia, Carson, Earth Witness, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, and Shoes. So thank you all for your continued Patreon support as well. Thank you to all of our Discord members and all of our listeners that listen week after week. You can join both the Patreon and the Discord by visiting the links in our show notes. We can engage with other Ruff Talk VR listeners and other VR enthusiasts. Whole bunch of VR discussion, life discussion, movie discussion, food discussion, racing discussion, book discussion, you name it. We're probably talking about it. We do game giveaways, which Shoes does a great job setting up. Amelia does a great job with the game meetups as well too, with the Walkabout Mini Golf meetups, the happy hour talk, just hangout sessions, and just our whole mod team of Shoes, Amelia, and King Canuck. They crush it as well too.
For as busy as the Discord is, and it's really only modded by 3 people, more or less. I mean, that's pretty freaking incredible.
Yeah. No, huge props to them. They do
on point too.
They do a killer job.
Nothing's getting by. It's fucking awesome. No, I love I really do. I love our Discord. I love when I go in there and I'm like 25 plus messages. Mm-hmm. What the frick?
Sometimes things just start popping off.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a place for everyone though. That's what's kind of cool. Very accepting group and always something to kind of do. We're being scheduled to do.
So this is one I'm so excited for because we actually got to try this in Stockholm. Had a blast with it. Ended up on a little social media clip of Resolution Games as well too. But the mixed reality first-person shooter game Spatial Ops from Resolution Games is coming out this November on Quest and Pico. And again, we had so much fun trying this one. It's coming out officially on November 14th as well too.
The more space, the better.
Mm-hmm. You can play between 1 and 8 players.
Holy crap, man.
And Resolution Games actually showed off a single-player campaign mode as well, too, if multiplayer is not your thing. So, again, you can play 1 to 8 players.
Oh, it shines in multiplayer, though.
It's kind of like a laser tag shooter as well. They have a couple different game modes. I know in Stockholm we did like a free-for-all. I think we did a team deathmatch. No, we did a capture the flag. So they got a couple different game modes as well for it, too. So, November 14th on the MetaQuest and on Pico, and it's going to be $19.99 on the MetaQuest store, but you can actually pre-order it now for $14.99. So $15 for this one is a steal. If you have other people in real life with headsets that are down to come to your house, it's going to be one of the most fun experiences you can have with the MetaQuest headset. There's a little bit of that limitation of needing other people to come over and stuff like that, but if you can do that, it's peak. It's absolute peak.
Well, I think you had mentioned after we had played it, like it just screams gaming
VR arcades. Yeah, absolutely.
VR arcades could scoop this tomorrow, and it's like it'd be a staple because it really is. It was a boatload of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Had me laughing for sure. Definitely worked up a sweat though. All right, so just this is a short and sweet one. I'm sure it's kind of old news to everyone now, but Wanderer: The Fragments of Fate has been delayed again.
Oh no.
Not upset about it. It's just each time there is a delay with something though, my kind of like personal expectation of the product kind of goes up because I'm like, well, they're delaying it for a reason. So I don't want to really have to experience bugs or glitches or some jank. It's like,
well, here's the thing is that they're trying to release on every platform at once. PCVR, Meta, PlayStation VR.
Simply be it as well.
I don't think that's the right way to go because it could just be like, example, one platform they didn't pass on.
Well, dude, it would suck to, for everyone to suffer because of one.
And that
regardless
might be
of the platform too. Hey, if it comes out on Steam first, hey, that's just the way it is.
I'm with you at this point. It should be whatever's ready. Let's put out on those platforms and delay the ones that aren't.
Correct.
And I could be incorrect. It could be that it's not ready on any platform either. I'm just speculating, but
who knows?
It's coincidental that they're trying to release on every platform the same day, and they've delayed 3 times. They aren't releasing a release date this time, though.
We'll get an update when
they've learned their lesson. They
should just shadow drop it at this point.
That would be hilarious to just be like, it's out.
After all that,
it's out.
I mean, at least they own the shit, though.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like.
Yeah, it was a wicked apologetic. And honestly, the consumer reaction has been
positive.
Let it cook.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we
do you want to hit me
people
on
in
3?
the VR world know too. It's like, no, you don't have to push it out early if it's going to be a fucking problem. If the people who make it have a problem to not, then let it do its thing.
I think that this is also very important for other developers. See, this is a developer that's delayed 3 times and the consumer reaction is still positive. Like, don't be scared if you need to delay.
But there is hype around it coming out, so that helps.
But 3 times?
If you're not in that same category of there being hype around your product, let's be honest, the majority of VR games when they come out, people know about them when they're out.
And that hype is also why they need to deliver with being polished at launch, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunate they're being delayed, but I'm glad that the consumers are still reacting positive of why and understanding on it. Even with it's going to come out.
Just got me wanting to play it more, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm expecting a 2025 release at this point.
Might as well.
It's going to be my game of the year in 2026, What can we do? So, Meta confirmed that their Quest Pro 2 candidate is canceled. That's a thing that was speculated in a rumor.
I feel like that's already news.
Right? Like it, but
it's like older news.
They got official confirmation of it, and then they reported to The Verge that they are working on a new headset in 2027, with one being a lightweight, like ultralight headset for productivity and stuff like that.
No, don't do that.
Well, I don't know if it's for productivity, but that's why I would imagine you would do a ultralight headset that comes with a tethered puck route.
Ugh.
They're going with an Apple Vision Pro competitor in 2027, it looks like. It was either this or a Quest Pro 2. And they canned one of them.
They have no reason to. You know what?
The only reason
better
to
off
is just
letting Apple just stay in their lane and just keep doing what they're doing, because they got future tech that
they're just trying to hit the curb
Apple's
stomp.
not dropping,
They're just trying to hit the curb stomp. It's like just unnecessary. They're just like
Orion.
Yeah, this one's just to put
dude. That's like, that's all they need to focus on.
So man, they're going to be launching Quest gaming headsets, the Quest line. And then they're going to have this ultralight tethered one, which is basically the Vision Pro competitor. And then shortly after, that's 2027. Shortly after, then they're going to have, Orion out too. Like
that should have Apple freaking the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. I don't see the point.
If they want to really be in the tech game like that.
Now, if it's using a tethered puck, that will allow it to be lighter. I'm curious how much more powerful it is, what the cost is, all of that. But looks like this is the one that got greenlit. It was this or the Quest Pro 2, and they went with
you always have a warm pocket.
They went with the ultralight one with the tethered puck. I might have said go with the Pro 2, but what do I know?
I hope they cancel that. I honestly do. I hope that project just gets canceled.
Somewhere out there's somebody that's screaming that they're so excited for it, right? So it'll be for someone.
No cost though. No anticipated.
No news on that stuff, and really how powerful it'll be or anything like that.
It'll be about less than $2,000.
A boot.
It'll be a boot. So, I guess on the more delayed news, Laser Dance will not be coming out until 2025. I'm not going to get into the fancy-dancy reasons of why they claim, but I'll just say a little late in the game to have discovered those issues but whatever. That's just me. I'm not upset about the delay. Just leave it at that. Hey, we need to work on our shit.
It's the week of delays between Wanderer and Laser Dance.
Yeah, but Laser Dance is one that I'm excited as hell to get my paws on. So again, but they say it's because of Meta's APIs and scene drift.
Well, this is a game that was announced first when Quest 2 was the headset with black and white pass-through. So I'm sure every time they update mixed reality, he's probably like, ugh, another 3 months. Ugh, another 3 months.
Well, what's that going to mean every time they update?
Yeah.
After, So, I don't know. I think they'll be all right.
This is what I'm so excited for, because it's dodging lasers in your room. It's like an old school spy movie. I can't wait.
We talked to the developer too, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Talked to him a bit we obviously did a podcast interview with him, but then we talked to him at Connect as well too. So this one's a cool one. Meta and ETH Zurich researchers, they announced that they're able now to turn any surface into a keyboard with a much improved keyboard than the current one on the Quest in terms of accuracy and words per minute. It's 85% faster and 3 times more accurate than the current keyboard on the Quest software as well. And you'll just be able to look at any surface like a tray on an airplane or a train or just a table and boop, there's a keyboard. So that's huge.
No, I'm down. For people following RoboQuest VR, they have revealed a new gameplay footage in their latest teaser trailer. So they are doing their best to keep the hype train going, move the hype train, get the needle moving for when they're eventually going to come out. So if you're following RoboQuest, it'll be a new experience for me.
I'm excited for this one. Of course, I now work for Impact Reality, which, is in part with Flat to VR. So I'm a little impartial on this one, but I'm so excited for everything coming out of the Flat to VR side of things.
So far, everything's looking pretty good from the outside looking in. Yeah.
I think RoboQuest is going to be one of the most popular ones that they drop too, just because people love that style of game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Trombone Champ.
Yeah.
Probably going to crush it.
Let's see. It'll be interesting when all is said and done, because they announced what?
I had to put my money right now, I'd say, based on what I've seen. And I got to try the demo
at Gamescom.
So I'm like, yeah, I didn't try RoboQuest. So I can't compare it. So it's like in my head, I'm like, well, based on, and my love of rhythm games. So, but anyways.
No, I can't wait for that one.
There's to drop. New trailer out. I saw it. Looks pretty fun.
And then kind of on the same news that I just talked about, where, the researchers were able to turn any surface into a keyboard, which isn't out on OS software yet. It's not available on your Quest, but that's going to be something that, if they're able to do it in research, we're going to see the practical application soon. Quest version 71 is also going to bring a pass-through cutout for any keyboard the Quest sees. So what that means is right now there's like a list of supported keyboards on the Quest that if you're using that specific brand and type of keyboard and you're in a VR environment, it'll show like an outline of your real life keyboard. And then if you go over it, it'll go pass through.
Yeah.
But now it'll be able to do that with quote unquote any keyboard. So let's see. I feel like that there's so many different keyboards and shit. Let's see what it starts picking up. But
people are gonna throw some curveballs out there.
Yeah, version 71. That's something it's aiming to accomplish.
Damn, man, this tech is just flying quick, and I'm loving it, even if it's just little subtle upgrades. But
even the operating system numbers go so fast,
dude. Or what, 70, 71. So coming out of Brazil, one of the cooler studio names, VR Monkey, has Honeypot, which is a combination of tower defense with action-focused gameplay. So basically you and your friends, because it is co-op, are bees. And right? Which is kind of cool. And I apparently, like, and I don't understand this from not playing this yet, but like you can grab your stinger out of the back of your ass and do like major damage, but you're going to die just like a real bee would. So that's like, I'm guessing like your special attack. But yeah, you have to stop the bears.
It helps that it's co-op, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're really harping on the like fun factor for you and your friends.
Tower defense with action focused gameplay,
man. So
and it's co-op.
What makes it tower defense?
I don't know.
Right?
Upload VR did a hands-on with it.
Yep.
That's why we're talking about it. I saw it on their page, and it just sounded so cool. I love the VR Monkey team.
That was the other reason too. Is VR Monkeys. They're good peeps.
They just did Sky Climb. They've also done Galaxy Kart. We've actually had them on the podcast before. The MetaQuest 3 version is expected to launch Q1 of 2025. So it doesn't have a store page or anything.
I like that the amount of games coming out in early 25 is going to be pretty sick.
But they sold me with co-op for sure. I'm real interested about this one.
I'm trying to understand the full strategy of how to, like if you and I are playing together, right? And I pull my stinger out and kill everything and I die, will I come back at the next round?
Dude, I know I got to get my hands on this one.
Let's roll.
So my last one before we just cover the last, the remaining releases for October, but Bone Lab, they're planning to add inside out upper body tracking on the Quest 3 and the 3S, which would be, like instead of just tracking your hands, it tracks the whole arms, elbows, all of that upper body movement, which is something that's able to be implemented by developers. Meta released that. I don't know if it was an SBK or whatnot, but it's something that you're able to implement. But not a lot of games have so far. Swordsman VR has, Drunken Bar Fight. Meta's new avatars don't even have it implemented. So I don't know if it's like resource heavy or it's just like, a disconnection in like what's available and what people actually know about. But for whatever reason, it's not in a lot of games yet, but Bone Lab's going to be looking to implement it. So that's cool. Inside out tracking upper body tracking would be huge for a game like that is so based upon physics. Imagine that in Swordsman, in Blade and Sorcery as well. No,
I do it again. I'm seeing this technology all like whipping out is pretty insane. My last one, Rogue Pinatas.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping my eye on it.
Pinata game.
Candy packed co-op roguelite. I saw the trailer. Don't fully understand where the roguelite element's coming from yet, but again, I'm watching this one. Rogue Pinatas. It looks like you go around smashing the shit out of pinatas, but you must get unlockables and upgrades and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense.
It's roguelite, so it has to be.
Yeah.
Another example where co-op might carry this one.
Yeah, if this was single player.
Remember you initially said pinata, like this.
Yeah, I'm like, have you ever been to a pinata party? It's pretty boring, Until the candy actually comes out. It's like, yay. But knowing that you're running around killing all these or bashing all these pinatas. So keeping an eye out on Rogue Pinatas. We'll see where that goes. And I'm hoping it has some good co-op fun factor.
I think it will.
Yeah.
But let's see. It's an interesting one. Of rare game coverage from Road to VR as well, too. They're usually more tech focused. So it was cool to see them cover that one.
Makes me curious.
So I don't know if you want to go over the games that came out this week and then we'll dive into the ones coming out.
Yeah, real short and sweet. Into Black, Another Door, You Can't Scare Me, and Escape Room Simulator all released this past week. So please enjoy. You have me at Escape Room.
Mm-hmm. I
Don't
like
say
that.
Nothing else.
Another Door is another escape room. So we got 2 escape rooms,
dude,
that came out last week. So
that's scary.
And then
keep me a little busy.
I'll go through quick the remaining October releases, and halfway through we'll switch it off as well too. So
fair enough.
Coming out on October 15th on PSVR 2, we have Darkness Roller Coaster. And then also on October 15th, but on the MetaQuest, we have Just Dance VR.
Just Dance.
Then on October 17th, this is a huge one, we have the Arizona Sunshine remake coming to PCVR, PSVR 2, and Quest.
Yay.
Then we have Does It Stack coming to the MetaQuest on October 17th. We have Maestro. Going to be one of the best games this year, I'm sure.
Dying for it.
Coming to the Quest on October 17th, and then PCVR October 22nd. And then also on October 22nd, another Game of the Year candidate where we have Batman Arkham Shadow coming to the MetaQuest, like I said, October 22nd. Then we have VR Sailing on October 23rd coming to PCVR. Band Space, now published from Fast Travel Games. They're publishing Wing coming in and dominating that side of things. Is coming out October 24th.
It's a fun game too, by the way.
Yeah, and it's going to be coming out on October 24th, both for PC, VR, and Quest. We have this one I know you're so excited for. Also on October 24th, Dig VR.
Dig,
Let's go,
baby.
baby. Then we have from our boy Ben over at Just Add Water. I'm so hyped for that one.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear Chadwick's opinion on it as well in our Discord. Then we got Vendetta Forever coming out October 24th on PSVR 2 and Quest.
Chadwick's going to say it's just like running a real excavator, less the dust in the face.
That's what I hope.
I don't see in a million years, other than like foot controls and shit, but I think Chad can run everything from fucking Bobcat to excavator, so, and everything in between, I would guess. So we got Evil's Punk October 28th, PCVR. Iron Trails Outlaw Pursuit coming out October 30th, PCVR. October is just jacked, dude. It's too jacked. Deadland 2 VR coming out October 31st, Halloween for PSVR 2. Yay for them. Triangle Strategy coming out October 31st for Quest. So there's our Halloween. Underworld Overseer, a little bit of hype behind that, coming out October 31st for PCVR and Quest. No PSVR 2. Airspace Defender, That is the Missile Command game, I believe, coming out October 24th for Quest. Clawball coming out in October 2024 sometime. Could be tomorrow, who knows. Frenzies, October 2024. Phasmophobia coming out October 2024 for PSVR 2. Retropolis 2, Never Say Goodbye, October 2024 for Pico. Good to see them still treading. The Descent coming out October 24th, PCVR, and Vivarium, October 24 for Pico.
Wow. Loaded
Just
month.
stacked, dude.
Yeah, stacked.
I'm concerned for a handful. I've voiced my opinion before. There's some games I would delay slightly, or just understand that you're going to need to push your marketing in about 3 weeks after October 22nd through November, because Batman's going to be no joke. You got headsets that are being bought with Batman in it, for Pete's sake.
No, that's going to be a huge one.
Yep.
So, thank you everyone for tuning in today. I'm so glad we were able to squeeze this in. As always, if you enjoy the show, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Thank you so much to our supporters who support us month after month, listeners who listen week after week, and stay tuned for what I think is a bomb diggity interview dropping
Hell
this
yeah.
week. So it'll be a fun one. All right. Thank you, everyone, and check you out. Ciao, ciao.